I'm not the one to be the bringer of bad news, but anybody who told you that the Western world is a land of freedom, peace, dreaming, and multiculturalism, they told you a blatant lie. And if you are still too stupid enough to wake up and realize that the lack of treatment towards black people is still an ongoing issue, and it's going to take more than 50 years to resolve the millions of people who have been affected by this action, then I'm afraid that we haven't even begun the process, primarily due to the fact that people are they are deliberately refusing black service, black rights, black treatment under the law. When I moved initially, okay, the basis of the move was for the idea that this would be a situation that involved better education, that I would receive perhaps a opportunity to kind of build a safe life, not only for myself but for my family, for my community. And the sad reality of what's happened is the structure, the way this country is structured, is actually not built for equality, but rather it has been built based on it's a cult-like behavior, in the sense that if you do not conform to their way of what they believe is freedom, they will single you out, they will ridicule you, they will be very hostile, they'll even throw labels at your face, they will explicitly let you know, and they do this on a daily, perhaps even on a second, they will let you know that you're black, okay, and I think we know what they mean when they say that, okay. And the reality of this is, at first it was just systematic, okay, to the point where it was like, okay, there's a procedure. You see a black person applying for a job and a white person, you're gonna pick the white person. You see a black man in line and there's a white woman, you're gonna permit the white woman to barge in line, right? Well, at least that's what the procedure was. Sadly, it didn't become a procedure anymore. It actually became acts of violence and aggression. It became very disruptive to the point where there were many instances where perhaps personal property that I invested in was trespassed on several occasions, sabotaged, vandalized. When I reported these instances to the authorities, their claim to refuse to solve the situation, which we all know why, but they say that oh well, this person's just on their own property and they're just so you're telling me that just because I know I'm talking to people who have a common sense around the world and actually hold a ethical standard of behavior, right? Just because somebody owns their own body, they're free to do whatever they want. That's the classic way of liberal thinking, right? And the thing is, they know how to use their title, right? They know how to use their job title to try and prove that they are genuinely better than anybody black. You could literally just be minding your own business. You can just be chilling. You haven't put your hands on anybody. Out of nowhere, these people will label you and they will call you all sorts of things because they deep down inside want leverage and control over you, right? Everything they'll accuse you of stems nothing more from the guilt complex that they exhibit as a result of being unable to solve the same problem that they created, the same recreational substance they legalized. They'll accuse you of a mental illness for taking it. Okay, the same systematic procedures that would scientifically induce stress related symptoms in anybody, they will accuse you of a mental illness for even claiming that you have been genuinely stressed out from surveillance, from monitoring, all to which they claim that they are incapable of doing so because their society is good, their way is the way, and they have rights and freedom to do whatever they want, to be whatever they want, to dress however they want, to sabotage anybody's family. And yeah, since we're on the topic of sabotage, okay, look, can we just have a moment to talk about, I'm just gonna make the distinction right here now, okay? I don't know and I don't care what you do in your spare time and in your bedroom. My question is, why do they feel the need to drag everybody into their business? You have to be like, they will deliberately, they have objectified black people and black families to the point where black families can't even walk out, or black families or black people are always, they're always being used to kind of prove a leverage of success in some end. And I don't get it. Like, if you know what I mean, I'm not trying to be too explicit, but they have weaponized black culture as an object to which, should you just be a normal black person, right, walking with your family or something, I'm not playing around, and I do not care what their racist people do to me if I say this. They will exploit you. Like, if you think you can just walk the roads as a black person in peace, they will exploit you. The only people who will ever deny that are the brainwashed black sheep who have actually conformed to that level of brainwashing and have actually convinced themselves that they are everything but black by seeking white homes and seeking white integration and conforming to the white system, further emphasizing my points as to how you cannot actually be somebody living under black culture and black conditions in this society without being pointed out, labeled out, racially used, abused, attacked, objectified, harassed, stalked. And should you be caught bringing any of this to their authorities or anybody who they have claimed have been there for support, because they are unprofessional in the way that they have been trained to deal with black matters, they are completely void of black culture besides what they see on TV. They have no other resort of action to do other than to psychologically break down why they don't know everything, despite convincing themselves that they know everything. And because they don't know everything, they accuse you of being the threat to their knowledge. This is the classical way that you find such a government and a society living in. And you may think it takes a genius to decode it, but it's the same story and it's the same situation for years and years, right? I have lost very close people to me due to this systematic way of belief, who were able to trick, to my responsibility, I permitted them to trick those who I considered close, to trick them into believing that I am everything except for what they raised me to do, which was that I just woke up one day and abandoned my role of being a contributor towards the black community, as I always have been. And I think the track record has shown that my contribution has actually just been a threat to these people, to the point where they need to exhibit and resort to their stereotypes in order to try and alienate me, accusing me of false crimes, accusing me of things, touching people who I have never put hands on in my life. And if you want to come to my face and BS me about that, here's what I will say, since you want to be smart: go to your doctors and run a biological test on everybody who said that, and I guarantee you, on my top dollar, All right, I guarantee you on my top dollar, you will find zero evidence and trace of any DNA that is mine. And the only thing you will find is the satanic ritual and the consistent sacrifice to the devil that these people persistently put forward in order to try and alienate black people. And history has proven that we have all the recorded collection to prove that all their actions, they have not done the black community any good, but they have convinced the world through smiles and through token handshakes and by acting friendly that the level of contribution they've had to the black community has been phenomenal. How are you going to contribute to something you don't even know about? You don't even know that there are black kids who get isolated in the school systems, literally sabotaged, and cannot bring it home to their to anybody who they love, because we have all been indoctrinated to believe that these snowflakes are the absolute solution to society. And little do you know, you have this snowflake who you think is just going to college, getting a degree, and living that life white as snow. Okay, so I know the adults may not be in tune with culture, but I'm just gonna ask the G's who actually are in who are directly integral to these people who I'm talking about. Okay, do you genuinely believe that that's all these kids are doing in school? Do you genuinely believe that these people are just going to school just to put their head down on their books and live a regular life? You genuinely believe that nothing else goes on? I want you to use your brain and just think for a few seconds. Yeah, and once you do, I think I'll say no more. That's all I'll tell you. You know, because at the end of the day, I'm not the one to criticize anybody for their lifestyle or what they do behind closed doors. My criticism comes when you drag the black community into this, when you drag random black people just trying to pursue a normal life, right? Trying to get in a regular session of studying athletics, and sadly the fate has already been determined, and that fate to sabotage that black person and to set him up is determined on the basis that you genuinely believe, and the society we live in genuinely believes that they are better than people who are black, and will literally thrust themselves into the cemetery if it means that they have to go that far to prove so. They must prove it. They can't believe it without actually using a black person as a weapon, and they won't just use the black person who has been taken over by white philosophy. That black person, that's a job well done as far as they're concerned. They will use the black person who is actually fighting the stereotype daily, and they will definitely induce their level of stress and hostility. You do me a favor, okay? Ask me how many black people you know have not experienced racism. Even if you just do a simple Google research on what goes on within these school boards, you will find that many black kids have actually undergone very, very harsh racial acts to which these brainwashed black puppets who have been stringed to be white and stripped of blackness have denied the claim to effort, and have actually joined forces, completely executed an order to be anti-black, far away from their own original cause, to believe that these diagnoses that they throw on black people are correct, when such a diagnosis can be very much proven invalid, given that the history and the data actually qualifies black people to experience levels of harm or fear when a racist police officer comes and approaches you and takes you out for trying to buy diapers, or you go on a boat cruise and you have been taken to the bottom of the sea. We have recorded, evident, collective data which shows everything that the black people are still going through these acts of aggression and have continued to go through so, which have been brushed under the carpet, not only by the media, but by our own kind, who have actually sold our people out in their efforts to try and please the corporal system. And sadly, this is the only way that I can address the honesty, the reality, the truth, and the evident nature of what happens when you make a society that decides to explicitly exclude black people.